Hi, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Axis Mini Pendant. This is the 186400. Awesome fixture. A lot of details to cover, so let's jump in, okay? So let's get into the size of the body of the fixture itself, and that's going to be independent of these, which are the rods above it. 13.3 inches tall and 2.8 inches in diameter, and that's inclusive of the metal-to-metal and then the glass diameter as well. I'll get into glass in just a sec. So let's get into the overall height, and you're going to have a range of 15.8 to 60.8. Hubbardton is using a system of these interlocking rods, and you can see a picture next to me here. And how these work are, you're going to have three pieces of the 12, one of the 6, and one of the 3, which is on this guy right now. And then how these go together are these little connector pieces, and they are threaded. There's threading on the inside of this as well. And see that guy right there? Threading on both ends. So easily goes together. And the trick when you're putting these, when you're assembling these, basically putting them together, is you want to put down a couple towels on a counter. You want to lay out your parts. So you would lay out, I guess you could put these on, it doesn't really matter for the small pieces, but you'd want to lay out the pieces on the towel and basically feed your wire through those pipes all the way up to the canopy. Then just put them together and then put them up. And then after it's already up, that's when you put your glass on. Don't try to install it kind of going up on the ceiling. That way it doesn't quite work. But that's my little trick using that towel. Okay, let's get into a few other quick little things. Canopy up on the ceiling is 5.5 inches round. It's this guy. It's going to be going over your 4-inch junction box, and I want to show you a little more information about that. And how we're going to do it is we're going to look at the installations instructions PDF. So if you're on the page for this on Handmade in Vermont, look over on this side of the screen, midway down, you're going to see a link. That link is going to take you to a PDF that is the installations instructions. The same ones are going to be in the box when you get this, but this is a good time for you guys to look at it because it's going to show you a full parts list of all the parts that come with this. It's also going to show you how it goes together, basically what I just said a second ago, and it's going to show you some line drawings of this, the canopy, as well as this, the socket setup. So take advantage of that if you can. That canopy is also slope ceiling adaptable to 45 degrees. So if you guys have a slope that you're dealing with, there's a knuckle built into the right there where that rod meets the canopy. It's going to allow this to go like that, 45 degrees, and you guys are all set. No need to customize this. Okay? Moving on from there, why don't we talk about what's inside of this? And that's going to be a G9 socket. In the old days, it was just a G9 halogen. That's a halogen. And the G9 part of this is you have a little slot and you have two little prongs in the bottom and they just snap right in. So you can use up to a 40-watt halogen if you want, and that's because of the heat generated by a halogen bulb. And remember, this glass is only 2.8 inches in diameter, more or less. So when you get something so confined and you have heat coming out of a bulb that's a halogen, that's why you have a limit. When you get into LEDs, no limit. So it's really up to you, and what I would recommend, this is what we have in our showroom. This is a 75-watt equivalent LED. It's a dimmable fixture. You can put it on a dimmer with no problem. Make sure you buy a dimmable LED, and it'll tell you that. It does the same job. It snaps right in, doesn't produce heat, produces light with very little electricity. This is probably coming in, I'm guessing maybe between 7 and 10 watts, and it's dimmable too. I got this on Amazon. That's a really great way to get your LED bulbs if you want to. Just put in G9 LED, and up is going to pop tons of these guys, and they're going to come lots of different ways, which we're going to talk about now, so you guys can get a quick tutorial on LEDs if you haven't watched them in my other videos. So the deal with LEDs, this is a Cobb LED. It looks like a corn cob. These guys are phosphorus LEDs. They have strips of phosphorus which glow when electricity goes through them. These are all dimmable too. When you're on Amazon, you're going to notice a couple things. You're going to notice they're going to give you the choice of color temperatures and dimmable or non-dimmable. So dimmable is easy, you know what that's all about. But the color temperature, you may not know what it's about. So you'll see some of them may be in 2700 Kelvin, probably a limited collection of those. A lot of them are going to be in 3000 Kelvin, some will be in 4000, 5000 Kelvin. And the difference between all those is the color of the light. So daylight, which is outside light obviously, is blue. That's a blue light. People don't know that. They think it's daylight means it's like a setting sun. It's not. That is 4,000, 5,000 Kelvin. So that's pretty blue. That's like hospital waiting room light, okay? 2,700 Kelvin, that's going to be super warm light, almost like a totally yellow light. That is your setting sunlight. And that's going to be 2,700 Kelvin, almost like the light coming out of an incandescent bulb that you dim down a little bit. The one that you're going to see a lot of is 3,000 Kelvin. That is considered a warm light. The lights above me coming out of these LEDs is 3,000 Kelvin, and I think they look great. It's also, like I said, it's a dimmable light. So just make sure when you're getting these, I would probably zero in on a 60 watt equivalent or a 75 watt equivalent, 3,000 Kelvin dimmable LED. And I probably would go for one of these Cobb ones, quite honestly. Okay? Why don't we hop into glass one more time really quick on this. So you have this piece of Hubbardton Forge's Opal Glass. I'll get more into Opal in just a minute. And we also have this under semi-flush as well, because this is kind of coming in at 15.8 inches at its shortest, 60.8 at its longest. So I would be comfortable at 15.8, call it 16 if you want, using this maybe in a stairway, because it is a really pretty fixture, and I think this would be great in the stairs. Plus it's slope ceiling adaptable, so if you do have a stairway with a slope above it, you're good to go. So I want to touch on Hubbardton Forge's glass for just a second. Hubbardton Forge's Opal Glass is not just another piece of white glass. This is actually hand-blown glass. All of their glass is hand-blown. And to begin with, it's actually a clear piece of glass to start with. And then they come in, they blow a second layer on the inside of white glass. Then they come back and they do a third step where they sandblast the entire outside. So you'll notice when you get these in your hands, they actually have layers of glass on them on the end. You can see them on these two pieces. And it gives it this really soft, semi-transparent, kind of milky quality. It's a soft glowing piece. Really, really pretty. You know, they're really obsessed about details at Hubbardton Forge, and a lot of people don't. I don't think they appreciate it out in the world, but you appreciate it because that's why you guys are here watching this video. There you go. Let's get into metal finishes now. If you're on our website, HandmadeInVermont.com, do me a favor, look over on the left-hand side of the screen. You're going to see a lot of red tabs over there. One is going to be the Finishes Help Guide. When you're done with this video, go over there and open that up for me, and you're going to see a video at the top of that page of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton Forge finishes and how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be referencing a color chart just below the video, so scroll down a little bit, you'll see that chart. You'll notice there are pictures that have the letter A on them, pictures that have the letter B on them, and I'm going to be talking about that range you can see in variance on there in that video. So it's really important to watch the video, use that chart. When you're done with all that, come back down to that chart. You can click on any of those pictures and see a lot more samples of Hubbardton Forge fixtures in that finish. If you want to see a bunch of stuff in dark smoke, click on dark smoke. If you want to see a bunch of stuff in vintage platinum, do the same, and so on and so on and so on. That's a great way for you to see a lot of Hubbardton Forge stuff in different finishes and really take advantage of that, okay? So our showroom in Vermont has over 350 Hubbardton Forge fixtures spread across 2 floors. We have a What's On display page on our website. It's going to be back in the red tabs over there. A lot of good things in that section. Check out. So when you open that up, you'll see it's all divided up into different sections like dining pendants and outdoor lighting. We're always adding to that. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. They don't even have a showroom like this. Nobody does. And they use this as their showroom when you guys come to Vermont to visit us. So lots and lots to see here. You can see all the different glass, all the different finishes, all the different fabrics, all of those things. In addition to that, we have a clearance center. So the clearance center stuff are returns, discontinued things, and showroom samples. That's an amazing deal for you. If you guys want to take advantage of that, you have to come here to Vermont to see us. And when you do me a favor, measure all the kind of things about your project and what you guys are doing. So the most important thing is measure your ceiling heights to begin with. Measure distances between junction boxes and like windows and ceilings and those kind of things. So if you're looking at sconces on the wall, you can see if they're going to fit for you. If you're doing pendants over a kitchen island, measure the distances between those junction boxes. Widths of tables, kitchen tables, dining tables, lengths of tables, islands, all that good stuff. And also do a couple more things. If you guys have some tablets or iPads lying around, take pictures of all these things. Take pictures of the kitchen, take pictures of the projects you're doing. Bring that in so we can kind of go through those pictures together and we'll be able to see what you guys are up to, okay? And also the boxes and clearance stuff, for clearance stuff, are basically packed for shipping. Don't forget, these were supposedly shipped out. So the boxes tend to be on the bigger side, so bring a decent size SUV if you want to take stuff home. It's a really good opportunity for you. When you buy your Hubbardton Forge fixtures from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. There's no tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. We're the only dealer that offers 90-day returns and no restocking fees. That's 3 months after you receive something to send it back, and there's no restocking fee on that. Some larger items and custom things, and it's usually going to be big things on pallets, are going to be non-returnable. It'll always tell you on the page for an item if that is the case, so always keep an eye out for that. And we also offer a rush program. So to get all these different metal finishes, Hubbardton Forge doesn't stock. They generally take about 3 to 4 weeks to get product out. We can cut that time in half, and it's really, really inexpensive. If you want to know more about that, just drop me a quick email and I can clue you in on details, okay? So our showroom in Vermont is open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to drop a quick email, you can do that all the time. And that's going to be at sales@HandmadeInVermont.com, and we spell out the word Vermont. Or you can call me during business hours, 802-446-2400. So thank you for stopping in today, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.